Chapter 8. In those days again an immense crowd had gathered there, and they had nothing to eat. Yeshua called his disciples and told them, I feel compassion for the people because they have already stayed with me for 3 days and have had nothing to eat. If I send them away hungry to their homes, they might collapse on the way. After all, some of them has come from a long distance. His disciples responded to him, How could anyone be able to obtain enough bread here in this secluded place to feed the people? But he was asking them, How many loaves do you have? Then they answered, 7. He directed the people to sit on the ground. Then taking the 7 loaves, he gave thanks over them, broke them and started giving them to his disciples to serve. They passed them out to the people. They also had a few small fish. After he had pronounced a blessing over them, he ordered this to be served as well. They ate and had their fill. They picked up 7 large baskets full from what was left over of the broken pieces. In fact, there were about 4,000 people. Afterwards, he sent them on their way. Immediately he climbed into the boat with his disciples and went to the district of Migdal. The spiritual leaders came out and started to discuss Torah with him, seeking from him a sign from heaven to learn from him. Sighing deeply within his spirit, he said, Why does this generation seek after a sign? In solemn truth, I tell you, no sign will be given to this generation. Leaving them again, he went on board and sailed away to the other side. But they had forgotten to bring bread. They did not even have a single loaf of bread with them in the boat. Then he was teaching them, saying, Watch out and be cautious of the leaven of the spiritual leaders, as well as the leaven of Herod. With that, they started to discuss with one another that they had no bread. So Yeshua, aware of this, told them, Why are you discussing among yourselves that you do not have any bread? Do you not yet see or understand? Do you have a callous heart? Having eyes, do you not see? Moreover, having ears, do you not hear? Do you not remember, when I broke the 5 loaves of bread for the 5,000, how many baskets full of leftover broken pieces did you pick up? They answered him, 12. When I gave the 7 loaves to the 4,000, how many large baskets full of leftover broken pieces did you pick up? Then they answered him, 7. With that he was asking them, Do you not understand yet? When they came to Bethsaida, some of the people led a blind man over to Yeshua and pleaded with him to touch him. Taking the blind man by the hand, he led him out of the village. After spitting on his eyes and laying his hands on him, he asked him, Can you see anything? With that he looked around and said, I can see people, but they look like trees walking. So he laid his hands on his eyes again. After that, the blind man looked intently, was restored, and then started to see everything clearly. Then he sent him to his home, saying, Do not go back in the village. Yeshua traveled along with his disciples to the villages of Caesarea Philippi. On the way, he questioned his disciples, asking them, Who do people say I am? They told him, saying, Yohanan the Immerser, others say Eliyahu, and still others, one of the prophets. But he kept on questioning them, So then, who do you say that I am? Kepha answered and said to him, You are the Anointed One. He warned them not to tell anyone about him. He started to teach them that the Son of Man must undergo many sufferings and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests and the scribes. He will be killed, but after 3 days he will rise. So he was stating the matter openly. Kepha took him aside and began to rebuke him. Turning around and seeing his disciples, however, he rebuked Kepha and said, Get out of my way, you Satan. In this you are not thinking with God's thoughts, but rather with mere human reasoning. Then he called together the crowd of people along with the disciples and taught them, "If anyone wants to come after me, let that individual deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. The person who desires to save his life will lose it. And the one who loses his life for my sake and for the good news teaching will save it. How will it profit a person if he wins the whole world and yet forfeits his soul? What would an individual give in exchange for his soul? For whoever is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, also the Son of Man will be ashamed of that individual when he comes in the glory of his Father, accompanied by the holy angels."